Today on the channel, we're going to learn how to play Jump by Van Halen. So, Jump by Van Halen. You're probably thinking, why are you doing a guitar lesson on Jump? Jump is a keyboard song. Well, true it is, but there's a lot of tasty guitar licks and fills in Jump. And I'm going to show you some of the stuff that Eddie does live. If you listen to Van Halen play on the Right Here, Right Now tour, or if you listen to them on the Balance tour, for instance, the Toronto footage that you can get on YouTube, Eddie does a lot of really cool stuff in Jump live. So I'm going to show you the stuff he's doing on the record and the stuff that he's doing live, and show you some of the theory behind this song, what makes this song really cool and why it works, and sonically what he's doing with these riffs that make a lot of sense, and they're really fun to play. I'm going to drop the link for the backing track in the subject line or the description of the video, so you can play along to the backing track. I would do it, but I'd get demonetized. I may get blocked. I don't want to deal with any of that stuff. So let's start off with the song. In theory, basically, Jump is in C. Van Halen are playing in standard 440 on this because they're playing along to a synthesizer, probably a MIDI synthesizer, I would think, if MIDI existed back then. Who knows? Maybe Eddie played it live in the studio. But anyway, he's playing in C. This song is your standard 1-4-5 progression, which what I mean by that is 1 is C, that's the tonic, 4 is F, 5 is G. So the verse and the chorus are all C, F, G, goes, and you can hear the keyboard, dun, 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 and the keyboard's actually playing F, G, C over this. It's going, all right, so it's doing that, and then it goes back to a C. So Eddie likes pedal tones. So while the keyboards are doing all that stuff, what we're going to do, and Eddie doesn't do this on the record, but he does it live, and it really makes the song sound really cool. He's doing something in octaves. So what I'm doing there is I'm doing this pedal tone on C in octaves. I'm on the C bar chord, which is, I play it like this with my pinky and my ring finger and my pointer finger, and we're doing octaves, which is on this low C and then this high C, and I'm palm muting. I've got my hand on the over the humbucker back here, and I'm chunking away on it. So what I'm doing there is I'm playing a version of an F and a G chord. I'm just taking my index finger and I'm barring the A and the D string on the 3rd fret, which is an F. But we don't need to play the whole F. And I'm going up to the 5th fret, which is the G. You could do that, but I just go. Pretty simple. I'll drop the link for the backing track of this without guitar that's on YouTube in the description of this video, so you can play along. So when you master the solo, you can also play along later when we get to the solo, which we're going to talk about here soon. Okay, so when they go to the pre-chorus, they modulate, or they don't modulate, they go up to a minor 6 chord, which is an A minor, which is standard, pop songwriting, and that's where he's saying, David Lee Roth says, "Can you see me standing here? I got my," all right, so, and then it goes, not going to play chords. We're not going to strum this like we're, you know, James Taylor or something. So what Eddie does is when the bass and the keyboards are playing that A minor, he goes up to this E note, which is on the 9th fret, on the G string, and he puts a little vibrato on it. If you just hold that note like this, flat as a pancake, it's going to sound pretty weak. So you got to put a little bit of vibrato and slide into it. A little bit of vibrato in time with the song. And that holds over that A minor. And then we're going to do an arpeggio over the F chord, which goes, I'm back to palm muting. That's 4 notes. That's the A string on the 8th fret. It's the D string on the 7th fret. And the G string on the 5th fret. So we're outlining an F. It's like that chord. But we're just going to play a little piece of it. And then we're going to go. What that is a C. There's cowboy C right there. But what he's doing is he's playing this C chord with the major third on top. So he's going. And then a single note. So he's going, sliding up to the 9th fret on the G string, back down to the 7th fret on the G string, and that's a D, which is the 5th of a G chord. So he's going A minor, F, C, G. So repeat. So that's a great melody. That's kind of a call and response. The call is, and then the hook is in that response. It answers. So that's really I think the coolest hook of this song is the way Eddie writes that melody to it talks with itself and then it responds. So great ears and writing by Edward So. Vibrato. And then we repeat basically everything we just learned for the next verse and pre-chorus and chorus. So after that next chorus, he jumps into the guitar solo, which can be pretty scary, but once you learn this in sections, it starts to make sense. And I recommend that you play this with the backing track. Learning it like this is great. Learning where your fingers go is important, but you have to learn how to play it to the rhythm that's going on. The solo is really cool, but what makes a solo cool is what's behind that solo. You can take the lamest pentatonic minor solo and play it over the lamest chords and it sounds lame. If you've got a rhythm section that's doing something really cool and you're just playing 1 or 2 notes, it's going to sound amazing. So not putting down Eddie's solo, it's brilliant, it's a great solo, but playing it over what Alex especially, and Mikey are doing, it's magic, and it's hard to get that rhythm down. Plus, it modulates. So it's going to modulate, which we won't really talk about the modulation, but it changes key, and then the keyboard solo goes back into C, which we're not going to do the keyboard solo. We're just going to do the guitar solo. Okay, so I'm gonna put the tablature down for all this stuff to the best of my ability. But the solo starts off with Eddie hitting one note up here on the 18th fret on the high E string. He goes and he slides down, kind of like the guitar screaming, like, ah! You know, it's just like excited, so excited. And then think about it this way. This next part of the solo is in a kind of a pentatonic minor box shape. Eddie was a blues player, in all honesty. Very Clapton. He doesn't sound like Clapton, but his riffs and his shapes he uses is very Clapton and Jimmy Page. So what we're going to be in now is we're going to be in this box shape. So when he starts that solo, he's playing the 18th fret up here, which is an octave of this, and he's... So we're going to be in that box shape for the big chunk of the very beginning of the solo. So you got to remember to be in this shape. So he's going to go, and then he goes... He hits that note, and then that's how I hear it. So there's your first phrase. And then he goes... It's strange because they comped Eddie's solos. He took this solo there's probably 5 takes, and they chopped chunks of solos together. So it's like surgery. They just popped in sections. So when you learn the solo, it's kind of frantic. It's great when you hear it back, but some parts of this are really frantic. So he goes... So I'm going to show you kind of slow motion, and I'm doing this the best that I can. I learned this solo by ear, and when I play this over the backing track, it sounds dead on. By the way, I'll post myself playing this on my Instagram channel, and I'll link that in the description of the video also, so you can go on my Instagram channel and check out me playing the solo to this song and what it sounds like, exactly how I'm showing you. And then... something like that. So I did something a little bit different there. I went, which is kind of, it's this, I can't slide down to that note, so I'm playing the same note as that note. So and then we go into this tapping part, which is very much like Hot for Teacher. Eddie loves to take these first 3 notes of the pentatonic scale and do this shape. And so he goes... whatever. So we're going to be on the 13th fret there. So check this out. I'm just going to jam a little bit in this shape to show you kind of why Eddie does this. So that's the next shape that we're going to do, but we're not going to do all that crap that I just did. We're going to go... So what I did is I went twice. I'm tapping on the 13th fret. Okay, so let me take one step back to what we just did. We went... fast. And then he kind of repeats that blues phrase. So, one more time. And then the very finale. I always forget how to, I always forget this riff right here, and I got to look it up. So he's going. So what it is 6, 8, 11, 13, 9, 11. And I'm raking. A rake is when you just hold your fat of your hand on the strings and go. That's one thing Eddie does all the time. He rakes constantly. He rakes like he's doing yard work. So let me take it a step back. And he does this little cute little chirpy because he's getting ready to play up here now. This part's really easy, I think. So what he's doing is he's going up here on the 15th fret on the A string. And just like this tapping thing was the same shape, this riff is the same shape. And what makes it easy is it's just your index finger, your middle finger, and your pinky playing this, which is really conducive to playing guitar. So we're on 15, 16, and 18. 15, 16, 18. So we're going to go. So the whole thing is, I mean, really, he's going right up the fretboard like that, but he's not doing it just like that. That's the notes he's playing. And he's hammering on. What I mean by that is he's hitting the first note, and he's letting the other fingers hammer on and fret. It gives it a legato feel. He repeats that phrase twice, so he goes. So try to get that down. That's a good exercise to do. You can do that all over the fretboard. I recommend. You know, do it like this, like when you're warming up. He does that in Spanish Fly. Anyway, maybe another lesson. So what he does is he goes twice, then he goes right up the ladder. He doesn't play the high 18 on that last E string. He turns around, and he ends on that 15th fret, which is a G, because that's when the synthesizer modulates back to 440. The song goes back to 440, so Eddie can play that keyboard solo in C because he rips on it, and I'm sure it's a lot easier in C than playing it in the other key. So anyway, we're gonna go. There's the ending lick. Up to speed. Whoops. And I'm holding my hand on this pickup all the time so I don't get any extraneous noise, and I've got control over my strings. And I'm lifting it up as I hit each string, and I'm putting it back down. Much like a piano. If you ever play piano and you press the pedal on the right on a piano, it pulls everything off the hammers come off the bar comes off the strings. So when you play a chord, it just rings out, but then you let the pedal off, and the hammers, everything goes back on the strings. It dampens the dampener, not the hammers. So it's like going. So what I'm doing is I'm going. There's like minuscule little dampenings going on there, and as you learn how to play and you get used to it, it becomes kind of second nature. All right, so from the very beginning of that solo, I'm going to take it for you and kind of show you what we learned. So. I mess it up. So there you go. That's the solo. And then this is a very important part to know. It's during the guitar or the keyboard solo. It starts off with a C, playing power chords. I recommend playing the C shape like this, which is it's kind of like the every rose has its thorn C. So during the keyboard solo, it does these chords. I'm not going to stop and tell you each chord. I'm going to put it on the screen. That's during the keyboard solo. Now, one thing Eddie also will do is he'll go. So what he does, takes a lot of gain, and you got to hit just right with your finger, but he's hitting the G string on the C, which is on the 5th fret. And then he's going to hit a tap harmonic 12 frets above that on the G string, on the 17th fret. So it's going to be, and he bends it, and he may outline the chord sometime. Okay, at the very end of that solo, the keyboard goes. So I'll put the tablature down for that. So if you've got a keyboard player or you want to play along to the track and do what Eddie does, he goes. And the very last part of this song, I told you there was a lot of cool guitar parts in this song. He goes. So what he's doing there is he's going, and I'm playing it with my pinky because I need 4 frets of stretching here, so I'm going, and I'm back to my palm muting. I'm putting my pinky on the 5th fret on the G string, then 4th fret, and going down to the A, which is the 5th fret on the D string, with my pinky. Which everybody by now knows that's top of the world, but top of the world is an E. And then Eddie will often end the song again. don't forget, you got to hold your pick here and do this to the crowd. So anyway, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment below. I really appreciate everybody watching my videos. It's been overwhelming, the positive support. So thank you for that, and peace out. Have a great one.